Welcome back, everyone, to Church News right here at Your Comments Matters. I'm your host, Minister Love. This is season 26, episode 28. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Well, we're going to continue our series on the Trump portraying himself as Jesus on that image that we all are familiar with now. Well, this video is coming from Bible Prophecy with Brother Paul. And the title of this video is called A Closer Look at Trump's Jesus Image. And when this video aired, he got over 32,000 views. You don't want to miss this. It was something I don't know all about this AI stuff, but it's interesting of what we're going to find out. All right. So with that being said, let's get to the video. And right after you see this video, your comments will be followed and they do matter. Take a look at the video first.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
So let's talk about Dr. Trump, the image that he posted on Truth Social and subsequently deleted. Clearly, this is not him as a doctor. You can tell by the clothes he wears and the light in the left hand. And I don't know about you, but that's not the way any doctor I've ever seen looks, to say nothing of the hand on the forehead, seemingly giving life, and the people praying around him. But obviously, Trump became aware that a lot of people in MAGA world were very upset, and Trump simply isn't used to that kind of outrage from his own supporters. Of course, I didn't hear or see much outrage from evangelical leaders about this image, but maybe I missed that. But clearly, the intent of this image was to present Trump as a type of Jesus figure, healing the nation, even though he's basically doing just the opposite. Although I will add that Trump's statement that he looked at it and thought it was a doctor is not impossible, because I could see him just glancing at this type of image, seeing that it exalts him, and immediately posting it to Truth Social and then moving on. But if he had taken time to look at it, it would have been clear that this was representing him as Jesus. Unless, of course, the thought of Jesus just didn't come into his mind, and he doesn't have a religious thought in his body, which is also possible as well. But I do think Trump knew full well that this represented him as a messianic figure, and that's all he cared about. If Jesus had even crossed his mind when he posted it, it was simply less important than him being praised. So let's move on and talk about a couple of major differences in the image that Trump posted last night, which you see on the left-hand side, and the original image that was posted by Nick Adams back in February. One small difference is that apparently Trump or someone in Trump's circle changed the proportions of the image in order to make him appear a little more thin. But as many people have pointed out, what really changed is how the figure above Trump appear. If we zoom in a bit, this is how those figures appear on the original image, and this is how they appear on the image that Trump posted last night. The original image is the one where the soldiers appear to have wings, and those wings disappeared in the image that Trump posted. Now, this figure in the middle is noticeably different, of course, and there are people saying that these are two demon wings behind it, but that's pretty debatable. If we look at this figure, we see that the head has been replaced by three spikes. And in fact, we find a similar type of image elsewhere on this picture. That is the Statue of Liberty pictured in the background, where we see these exact same type of spikes with an arm raised. What AI often does is replicate similar types of images or variations of them throughout a picture. So we see the soldier's head replaced by spikes that are similar to the Statue of Liberty, and two arms raised above the soldier, which also mirror the arm raised by the Statue of Liberty. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is generally a very creepy variation on the original picture. And as we already know, even experts on AI do not understand how AI works exactly. So Trump or people in his circle ran the original image through AI again, which produced a slightly different result from the original. And even though we can explain it by saying AI is replicating images found elsewhere in the picture, it still comes out very disconcerting. One rather humorous part of the image was an airplane that looked an awful lot like a dolphin, but Trump has put a lot of money into the military, so perhaps we are converting some of these sea creatures into weapons of war. The other strange part about the image that had everyone talking was the man lying on the bed, with a lot of people saying he either resembles Jon Stewart or Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the Jeffrey Epstein resemblance might not be by accident. While AI does produce images from scratch in response to text-based descriptions known as prompts, they are also trained on massive data sets containing billions of existing images and how they are described, which is how AI learns to recognize patterns, styles, colors, and compositions. Among all of those massive data sets that AI is trained on are images of Trump together with Jeffrey Epstein. In addition to the millions of images of Trump and Epstein separately, and the millions of text-based documents linking Trump to Epstein. Thus, it really shouldn't be a surprise that AI might have rendered the secondary character in this image to resemble Jeffrey Epstein. One other thing I want to mention about this image, and specifically about the figure in the middle with the three horns on his head, or three horns that replaced the head of the soldier from the original image, is of course it strangely correlates to the Bible's reference of the Antichrist uprooting three horns. Now, as I mentioned before, AI is simply replicating a part of an image elsewhere, which is the Statue of Liberty and the spikes or rays, and these spikes that are on the head. On the Statue of Liberty, there are 7 spikes or rays, and they represent the 7 continents and 7 oceans. But it is definitely odd that AI would replace the head on the soldier from the original photograph with just 3 spikes, which do appear to be horns of some kind. We don't know whether Trump or someone in his circle gave AI any additional prompts that would cause this result, but it is unquestionably very strange. For his part, Trump wasn't really done with this whole controversy. Today, he reposted an image of what is supposed to be Jesus consoling him, and a reference to how God is playing his trump card. So he's clearly still buying into the whole idea of not only being chosen by God, but that he is the equal of Jesus. He also posted the comment of, "The radical left lunatics might not like this, but I think it is quite nice. President DJT." So he's ignoring all the outrage from his supporters on this and placing the blame squarely on the left as the reason why there was any controversy in the first place. One positive thing to come out of all this is that more and more people are wondering if Donald J. Trump just might be the Antichrist, and that is a very good thing. Just to end on a humorous note, this image was circulating online in which Dr. Trump walks into an operating room. The doctor says, "Sir, can we help you?" And Trump replies, "No, I work here." The way I look at it, the world is so crazy we need to laugh once in a while, and I hope this provided a laugh or two. Thanks for watching the video, and I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, then, everyone. Thank you also for watching his video here as well with us here on the Church News. As you heard it right there and saw for yourself, I never knew that image had those variations to it and changes to it, that AI plays such a heavy role in that Jesus Trump image that we've all have seen. And so he says, well, Trump said that it was fake news that said that he was Jesus in that image. And people, even Trump's own supporters, are questioning now from that article that we saw in that video, is he the Antichrist with the horns and with the Statue of Liberty, with the spikes coming out, representing like those three horns is mentioned in Revelation and all of that stuff. I'm telling you, symbols, and you put these symbols on images, they begin to create a picture for us, don't they? All right, everyone. With that being said, we saw the video, but I know you're ready to hear what the commenters have to say on this video about the Trump Jesus image, because this is worthy of church news, isn't it? Take a look at our very first commenter coming from Sunny Valentino says, yes, AI may have merged the soldier with liberty into a demogorgon or Lucifer-like figure, but he did not have to post it. He deliberately chose to use that image out of many possibilities. Ooh, Sonny, you got 18 thumbs up on that comment. Take a look at another commenter saying from Lily, 1212 says, I appreciate this analysis. Thank you. You got 2 thumbs up. I do too. I really enjoyed it for myself. So when I saw that video, I said, well, this is interesting. So it really opened up my eyes to really pay attention to what we're seeing on these images, especially thumbnails and things that are coming in front of our view on social media. Take a look, everyone, at another commenter. This is coming from Jennifer and Fox 2316 comments says, I'm a retired nurse practitioner. None of us in the medical field walks in a robe, and I certainly didn't have nurses praying with their hands. This is seriously horrible. The middle figure is also at the top of the arc. You got 5 thumbs up on that. That's right. It was right above Trump's head, wasn't it? His figure of being Jesus. Those other images was above him, kind of almost like a puppeteer, huh? When you got spirit forces that's controlling you, they are what? Above you. That's kind of now what that image make me think of. All right, everyone, let's take a look at another commenter coming from Super Angelic says, Trump has always been very creepy to me, but now it is terrifying to see how many people worship and support him. It is beyond weird. Whoa, you got 2 thumbs up on that comment. Let's take a look at one last comment. Everyone, just to let you know, all of your comments, what matters. Take a look at our last commenter coming from Cassie 4337 says, he makes people better, he says. He then turns to DoorDash grandma, who is still working for tips instead of retired and at home with her husband ill with cancer, and hands her a $100 tip. So much for taking care of people. Cassie, I didn't think about that one, but your comment matter. You got 8 thumbs up on that comment. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for the church news here for us here on today. Your comments matter on this Jesus figure image that caused so much controversy amongst the evangelicals that supported Trump, calling himself Jesus. I guess there's a boundary they just won't cross. All right then, everyone. With that being said, just a friendly reminder, go over to the YouTube channel called The Bible Talk Show. Sister Sandra and I are doing a great series talking about the what ifs in life. When you look at that word life, right in the middle is if. If I do, if I don't. Take a look at Luke 4:9 and let's see what the what if is. It reads, then he brought him to Jerusalem, set him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down from here. Well, everyone, we know this is again Jesus. Him and the tempter, Satan, the devil, whatever name you want to call him, he's giving Jesus some choices, isn't he? Jesus got a what if moment right there. You don't want to miss that Bible study. Go over to the Bible Talk Show so you can get the full study. That's going to do it for us here, everyone. I am your host, Minister Love. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to Your Comments